Should Canelo be banned for life? We chop that up next. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to another edition of Sunday Morning Champion. We're going to dedicate the entire episode today to the middleweight division, beginning with Triple G and Canelo. Former two-division world champion Amir Khan has had some interesting comments to make about Canelo. You know, Amir Khan fought Canelo, got knocked out viciously by him. Here's what he had to say about Canelo. And this is a direct quote. Canelo should be banned forever. Not only given a 6-month ban, but because Canelo is so big in the business that people are going to respect him. The boxing media are going to back him. The promoters are going to back him. He brings a lot of money to the table. So they want to respect him. They want to keep him in boxing. End quote. Well, that's what Amir Khan said. Two-division former world champion had some strong words about Canelo. We wanted to get into that first. Look, this is the hurt business. It's not baseball. Okay? It's not hitting home runs. It's knocking people out. I don't care if baseball players take roids. I do care if boxes are clean. You putting someone's life in your hands. Tony Blue spoke out about this, said that if a fighter dies at the hands of a dirty fighter, that fighter should be charged with manslaughter. I don't disagree with that, and I don't disagree with a lifetime ban for Canelo. It's not hitting home runs, guys. It's not. Knocking people out. The object of the sport is to hit the person so hard and so often they can't stand up. That's the ultimate goal. And that's what Canelo did to Amir Khan. Again, I don't care if baseball players take steroids. I'm a baseball fan. I'm a Mets fan. Look, Mike Piazza, Mets Hall of Famer, questioned with steroids. He hit some big home runs as a Met. One after September 11 comes to mind. Right, another one off of Greg Maddux comes to mind. I don't care. It didn't hurt anybody, right? Didn't affect me. I mean, maybe it hurts the integrity of the game, but not to me. Boxing, someone's life is at hand. You can forever injure someone or end their life. Same baseball, fellas. This is the hurt business. There's no room for steroids in this sport. If anything, any sport needs to be clean, it needs to be ours. Would I support a lifetime ban? I wouldn't oppose it. I'd be okay with it. Let's get into the fight now. Yeah, everyone is saying, well, not everyone, certainly not everyone, the majority of fans, and not Canelo fans, of boxing experts and pundits alike, are picking Canelo to win the rematch in September against Triple G, saying that Triple G's a year older, the first fight was very close, Canelo got a year better, Triple G got a year older, got a year worse. Well, look, Canelo Alvarez lost on the scorecard, not our cards, he actually won an our card, but on the cards of most pundits, most experts, most ringside observers, most people who watched the fight, Canelo lost. Most people had Triple G winning 7 or 8 rounds. So he couldn't win when he was on clenbuterol. Now he's going to be taken off the drug, and all of a sudden he's going to get better. Because he'll need to get better if he's going to win. Because most people don't think he won the first fight. So he'll have to do better. So you're taking him off his miracle drug, and that drug is designed for him. Let's be real. So you can take him off the miracle drug, and then he's going to fight better and win. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying that's what you have to assume, and that's a lot to assume. Now let's get into this. Clenbuterol was designed for Canelo Alvarez. I mean, it wasn't designed for him specifically, but that's the perfect drug for him. Okay, he has had a history of having gas tank issues, of fading later in the fight, and you saw that, right? So you saw him fade after the first 4 rounds or so, in the middle rounds. He lost almost every round, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then he came back strong at the end and closed out. He won the last 3 rounds in our scorecard to win the decision on our card. Well, without clenbuterol, which opens up your respiratory system, allows you to breathe, is he going to get that second wind? Probably not. He knew what he was doing. And this is another guy, he was rumored to walk around 186. Right before that fight, he fought Canelo. Canelo fought Chavez Jr. at a catchweight above 160. Look at the size of Canelo. Look at the size of him. He's a massively big and strong 160 pounder. So this is a guy who a year prior to that fight with Triple G was fighting at 54. Right? He fought Liam Smith. 54. Now he can't make 60? It was rumored that he was walking around over 180 pounds 5 weeks out. Can he make 160 without clenbuterol? You don't know that. You just saw what happened with Danny O'Connor out in Fresno. Put himself in the hospital trying to make weight. I mean, can Canelo make this weight? He's massively big. Remember, look at the Canelo that fought Floyd Mayweather or Erislandy Lara. Look at the Canelo now. He's massively bigger. He may need the clenbuterol. The clenbuterol, and I'm not a doctor, but we've had the doctors on, and basically it allows you to shed water weight while maintaining lean muscle. So it allows you to reduce weight, and it opens up your respiratory system and allows you to breathe easier. Don't fatigue so quickly. So for a guy that needs to lose 20 pounds of water weight and has gas tank problems and fatigue problems, got caught with that drug. But it was just injected in his food. He didn't know about it, right? I check the ingredient in everything I buy. I'm not a world-class athlete, not a professional athlete. I don't have millions of dollars riding on the line. Check the ingredients and everything I eat. You're telling me he didn't know? That's so ridiculous. It's insulting my intelligence. I mean, everyone's got an excuse. That's a terrible one. And even if it's true, well, he still cheated, right? I mean, if you get pulled over for a DWI, can you say, oh, I didn't know I was drunk. Somebody spiked the punch. I thought I was drinking fruit punch. Doesn't matter. The cop going to let you go? Of course not. It's ridiculous. Look, Canelo got caught cheating. He's not going to be able to cheat anymore. They're doing clean testing. If he's clean, can he win without clenbuterol? You can call me a hater. I scored the first fight, Canelo. We're not Triple G fans. We're just calling it like it is. You're assuming he's going to fight better when he's off the drug. You can see in Major League Baseball how that works out. When they're taking all these power hitters off steroids. They want to score 8 runs a game, to score 3 runs a game. To assume that he's just going to get better. No, he won because he got a second wind. Or he got a draw because he got the second wind. He still lost on most scorecards. So if he doesn't get that second one because he's not on clenbuterol and he fades, he could get knocked out. Now, that's not an official prediction. We'll give you our official prediction the Thursday before the fight, or the Friday before the fight. That's not an official prediction. We're just saying that that's what you have to assume if you're going to say, yeah, I think Canelo Alvarez is going to win. Well, then you have to think that he's going to get better despite being off a drug that seems like it's like tailor-made for him. Now, Triple G has problems too. Triple G's old, 36 years old. We think he'll be, 30, is that right? 36. And he's got issues. He's not a great defensive fighter. He's easy to hit. We're not making a prediction here, but we don't think that it's reasonable to just think that Canelo's going to steamroll this guy. Other big news in the middleweight division. Lots of big news, and we're going to spend the whole episode on it, like I said. Triple G made some comments. He seems to be backstepping a little bit, backsliding. He actually said this. He wants all the belts. No, he doesn't want all the belts. Well, first off, we're gonna get into Billy Joe Saunders later in the show, but he was offered a unification fight with Billy Joe Saunders, which he said was his dream fight because it would unify the entire middleweight division. He didn't take that fight. Billy Joe agreed to every single term Triple G wanted, including fighting him in Kazakhstan. Triple G didn't take the fight, so it wasn't that important to him to unify all the titles. Okay. Then he gave up his IBF belt because he wanted to fight Vanis Martirosyan. He wanted to fight so desperately. He wanted to fight a 154-pounder coming off a 2-year layoff and a loss to Erislandy Lara. Well, that seems ridiculous. If he didn't take that fight, he wouldn't have been stripped by the IBF. And then the IBF, he agreed to, within 90 days, to face Sergey Derevchenko, which he wants no piece of. Look, Sergey Derevchenko, we're going to get into him right after this. Sergey Derevchenko is a very dangerous fighter. So just to think that Triple G was going to walk through him, he could beat him. I mean, that would be a fight in the center of the ring. It'd be fun. But that's a tough fight. So to think Derevchenko, he's not going to just walk through Derevchenko. So he avoided that fight. and he fought Martirosyan instead. Then he didn't negotiate the terms. He didn't live up to his end of the agreement, so the IBF did the only thing that they could do, which was strip him. Now that sets up a really good fight. That sets up a fight between Daniel Jacobs and Sergey Derevyanchenko. So when boxing does these things and they strip Triple G, it upsets many people to start with, like, why did you do that? Well, it ends up good, because these guys are all going to sit on the sidelines hoping and waiting for Triple G to call their number. Well, now they don't have to do it. Now we're going to get a really good fight, Jacobs and Derevyanchenko, which we wouldn't have gotten unless the IBF stripped him and it was for this belt, right? Eddie Hearn would never allow Jacobs in the ring with Derevyanchenko if it wasn't for a belt. Now it's for a belt. He can get his man a nice strap. So this looks like it's going to be a really good fight. It looks like we're going to get Derevyanchenko and Jacobs on October 27th at Madison Square Garden. Let's talk about that. Daniel Jacobs signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, making a lot of money. Jacobs is a really good middleweight. Big, strong, fast middleweight. Excellent combinations, excellent hand speed, excellent footwork. He's been with his trainer, and we're going to get into this because both Derevyanchenko and Jacobs are trained by Andre Rozier. Now, it's been rumored, it's been said through the grapevine that Rozier is going to stay with Daniel Jacobs, meaning that Derevyanchenko is going to have to get an entirely new camp for the biggest fight of his life. Fortunately, no one has control over that. Rozier does such a good job that he's got the top 2 ranked middleweights by the IBF. Jacobs has never held a real world title. We know he's held a regular WBA belt, but as far as a real world title, this is his first shot. It's not his first shot. It's his second shot. He lost to Triple G in a fight that many, including us, scored for Jacobs. Very close, very competitive. I'm not saying it was a robbery or anything, but we did score it for Jacobs. These two know each other really well. Again, Jacobs is a really good technician in the ring. Good fundamentals. Big, strong, tall middleweight, 6'1.5". Lots of skills, lots of speed. He can outspeed Derevyanchenko. He's a taller man. He's going to have to box him out of range. Derevyanchenko loves to get on the inside. If Jacobs is going to win this fight, and we do favor him to win just slightly, but we'll get into an official prediction if and when we get closer to the date. If Jacobs is going to win, he's going to have to outbox him on the outside. He's going to have to not slug. We have the same questions with Jacobs as we do with Keith Thurman. When he came up, he's supposed to have this awesome power, but as the competition has gotten better, Jacobs isn't getting knockouts. Obviously, he didn't knock out Triple G because he lost the decision, and then his last 2 fights, he also hasn't gotten knockouts and really hasn't hurt anyone. So, yeah, he can knock out guys that he outclasses, but can he knock out top middleweights? We don't think that Jacobs can knock him out, so he's going to have to win this on the outside. Jacobs has good jab, good quick jab, good left hook to the body, good overhand right, good footwork, very good defensive skills, defensively responsible fighter. Like I said, we do slightly favor him. But let's get to Derevyanchenko. He's a very live dog. Much shorter, stockier fighter. Listed at 5'9". We don't even know if he's that tall. He is a short, stocky middleweight. And this is a huge step up for Derevyanchenko. His best wins are over Sam Solomon and Torreno Johnson. I mean, 2 good fighters, especially Johnson, good fighter. Nowhere near the level of Danny Jacobs. So this is going to be all new ground. He's never been in with a world-class opponent like Daniel Jacobs. But Derevyanchenko's a good fighter. They call him the technician for good reason. He's got real good skills. He likes to mix it up. If he's going to win this fight, it's going to have to be on the inside. He's going to turn this into a slug fight, into a slugfest. He's got the skills to do it. He's not real young, but he's younger than Triple G. He's athletic. He's got good footwork. He has the ability to get on to the inside. And make this thing an absolute dogfight. And he has a massive right hand. He will be at a hand speed deficit. So again, he needs to get on the inside and mix this up, because if he tries to fight Jacobs from the outside, he's got no chance. Like you said, he's at a hand speed deficit, but he's not a slow fisted fighter. He's not just a come forward slugger with no speed. He's got decent hand speed. Not the level of Jacobs. He's got very good skills. He's fundamentally sound. he can do a lot of things. But he's going to have to get on the inside and rough Jacobs up. He's going to have to make Jacobs really uncomfortable. He's going to have to use his excellent timing to get inside the long reach. There's a lot of things to like about Derevyanchenko. The obvious drawback is he's not hyper athletic like Jacobs, and he's real short. I mean, there's nothing you can do about either of those things. I mean, he's short and stocky. He doesn't really have a long reach. And those are things that you can't do anything about it. His natural build is his biggest deficit. But that's going to be an excellent fight, and we look forward to that one. As of right now, October 27th at Madison Square Garden is what we're unofficially looking at. Once that becomes official and that gets announced, and we get a quote from Andre Rozier about who he will stay with. Again, he's been with Jacob since the amateur, so we don't expect him to leave. And when we find out who Derevyanchenko will be training with, we'll update you every step of the way there. In the other middleweight news, WBO Billy Joe Saunders has been given his mandatory. Demetrius Andre, expected. Andre's been ranked number 1 for a while by the World Boxing Organization. And they're saying now that Billy Joe is going to have to fight him sooner rather than later. Now, Billy Joe is in discussion to fight 168-pounder James DeGale, who's vacated his belt, so I'm not sure if that fight's still going to go through, but Billy Joe said he is interested in that. It would be a big money fight for him in the UK. We'll see how much slack the WBO gives him if that fight can be made. If not, they're saying it's Andrade. Two things could potentially hold this up, that being one. And the other is, let's remember who we're talking about, Demetrius Andre, who has priced himself out of so many big fights. Just time and time again, he's asked for entirely too much money. So if this does go to purse bids or whatever, and he's like, I'm going to need like $100 million, this fight could fall through because it's Andrade. Now, Andrade and Billy Joe are two tremendously skilled fighters. So if the fight does come off, we love this fight. This is a boxing purist, a purist dream come true. This is going to be a high-speed chess match between two gifted athletes. And we'll get into Andrade a little bit, but, at 3D Boxing, we've called Billy Joe Saunders on several different occasions the most underrated fighter in the world and the best middleweight in the world. He's a master defensive fighter. He does everything well. He uses his jab real well. He can throw lead power shots. His spacing, he has excellent spacing, excellent timing, knows how to use his body, he's physically strong. He's a much, much bigger 160-pounder than is Andrade. Andrade looks like a 154-pounder, and Billy Joe looks like a 168-pounder. You're going to see that if he does fight DeGale first, you're going to see that they look more the same size than does Billy Joe with Andrade. Andrade is not a big 160-pounder. He wasn't a big 154-pounder. So all things being even, and we see the skill set of these two being fairly even, the advantage we would throw is at Billy Joe because of the obvious size difference. He's going to be much bigger and much stronger, much more experienced at the weight. But Andrade is a pro, former Olympian himself, former 154-pound champion. Demetrius Andre is going to be a live dog, and this is the fight that he's been looking for. Something to put him out there, get his name in a mega fight, and allow him to capture the WBO title at 160, as he also did at 150. This is really going to be the sweet science at its highest level, a high-speed chess match between two superb boxers. This is what fight fans ask for. This is what purists want, and this is what we're going to get if and when this fight does happen, and it certainly does look like it's going to happen. That only leaves one man out in the dark, and many consider him to be the best 160-pounder in the world, Jermall Charlo, the older Charlo twin. He is the mandatory for the WBC. We know that Triple G doesn't want to fight him. He said that he's not a big name and he'd rather fight Saunders instead. The WBC said he is going to have to fight Charlo. Well, that all depends on if he beats Canelo. So, what does Charlo do from here? Does he sit around and wait and hope to get the winner of Triple G and Canelo next? Maybe get him next May? I mean, that's almost a year out. Does he take a stay busy fight or two in between? I mean, if so, who'd like to see him fight? Again, many consider Jermall Charlo the best 160 pounder in the world. He dominated 154. He's looked great at 160. He's a really, really talented fighter, complete offensive fighter, really good power, really good fundamentals. He's going to be a handful, really good athlete as well. He's going to be a handful for anyone at 160. If you guys think he should fight, let me know in the comments below who you think he should fight, or should he just wait it out? Should he wait for the winner of Canelo and Triple G and take the fight then? But if he does wait and Triple G does win, now the WBC did say he's going to have to fight Charlo. But we know that Billy Joe is willing to give up his belts to not fight. Will he go on and fight Saunders instead? When waiting for Triple G, if Triple G does win, would that be in vain? Is he not going to get that fight just like Derevchenko wasn't going to get that fight? Let us know what you think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Let us know who you think Charlo should fight next, or if you should wait it out. And leave us your thoughts on the middleweight division as a whole. Again, this is Sunday Morning Champion, and this is 3D Boxing signing off. Thank you, and God bless.
Enjoy 3D Boxing vlog videos? Show us some love by clicking the like button. Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3dboxingvlog.com is also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.